Hello everyone, and if you can see on my screen, this is something a little bit different. It is a tier list from Tier Maker, and if you notice, they are the levels from Spyro the Dragon on the Reignited Trilogy. I would do from the original trilogy, but I haven't played it on my channel yet. So this is the Reignited Trilogy version of these levels, just as a disclaimer. So if you'd like to see me play the original trilogy, please like this video and also subscribe, so then that tells me that you're interested in my content. We will not be ranking the flight levels in this episode. Those will be for a future episode. So let's talk about our tiers. So at the top here, we have our S tier, which is called Year of the Dragon, because, you know, the Year of the Dragon is a big deal. It's like the biggest deal in all of Dragon history, so the S tier is Year of the Dragon. The second tier is our A tier. It is 100% completion, meaning you've completed it, but you have a little bit more that you could go, meaning you have a little bit that you could get just to make it S tier. This one says, "I'm fired up, Bob," which is what Spyro says, and it's just because, like, I'm pumped, I'm anxious, I'm ready for this to go. I need it to go further, and you just have a little bit further to go to A tier and S tier. This one is our C tier. It's "Thank you for releasing me," which is very middle of the road, and that's what these levels are. It's like very average, middle of the road. This is our D tier. It's called A Small Fee, you know, like Moneybag says, because it's kind of annoying. These levels that are in here are kind of annoying. They're not the greatest, but they can't be any worse than the F tier, which is You're Nasty. And I think that's just self-explanatory. Without further ado, we are going to be ranking the levels of Spyro the Dragon for the Reignited Trilogy. Starting off with the Artisan Homeworld. So honestly, the Artisan Homeworld is the perfect opening to a video game, just based on music and vibes alone, and just opening up to that. And I absolutely love it. The only thing that I don't like about this level, well, I mean, there's two things that I don't like about this level. It's too short. I mean, the levels in the homeworld and just the homeworld itself is just too short, and that makes me really sad because I really like Artisans, and I wish it were longer so I could enjoy it longer. Also, the enemies don't attack; they run away from you. But other than that, like, you have a giant head hiding Toasty's portal. Like, come on, that's awesome. You also have a random door. Where does that go to? Where does this random door go to? I need to know, please. And then the Sunny Flight portal puzzle is pretty cool. Also, the whole hedge maze hiding the Dark Hollow portal. So, starting this off really easily, Artisans goes in the A tier for 100% completion. The next level is Dark Hollow. You know, this level is also just phenomenal based on music and vibes alone. I love nighttime levels, and the skybox that it has is so pretty. I know that it's better in the original trilogy, but keep in mind we are just talking about the Reignited Trilogy just in this video. And there's also an underground library. Like, what? I love how they utilize that room. I'm not really fond of the armored Norks, but I mean, I guess they're fine. They don't like necessarily hurt you. They're just kind of annoying because you have to wait for them to turn around to flame them, but that's not a big deal. This level is also too short, and that makes me sad because it is gorgeous and I love it. Like, come on. I put backtracking to unlock the chest as something that I didn't really care for, but the longer that I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what, that's actually okay, because you find the key and then you open the chest and it's just like, it rewards you for exploring the level. And besides, it's satisfying to collect the gems after. I originally had Dark Hollow at B, but I think I'm gonna give Dark Hollow an A. So that's our second A tier, is Dark Hollow. Moving on to Stone Hill. Now, Stone Hill it's nothing special. I like ramming the rams. I think that's pretty fun because they charge at you and you can charge at them. I also like the hidden dragon statue and the entire upper part. I mean, the music is just okay. It's not an Artisans or a Dark Hollow, that's for sure. I really do like the hidden beach. I think that's cool, and then the whirlwind to take you up top. And then it's just a regular afternoon skybox, so like, nothing special. But all in all, Stone Hill, I think I'm gonna put in I'm Fired Up, Bob, which is our B tier. Town Square is a glorified gliding tutorial, which, you know, it's gonna sound very hypocritical considering I really like gliding in this game. It's one of my favorite things to do, and he's a dragon, we should be gliding. But I don't know, there's just something about Town Square that it's fine. Like, it's fine, like Stone Hill is fine. It does have a rotten little egg thief, and you know how I feel about those. I don't really care for those, especially when you have to go all the way around just to catch him if you don't get him the first time, because he jumps up, and that's really frustrating to me. Other than the egg thief, I do like that it loops around. I like that there's a clear progression that you need to go through. And that the bullhorns get stuck. That's pretty fun too. It's an evening skybox, which is super pretty, actually. The music is okay, kind of like Stonehills. And I do like gliding. So, therefore, this is just the middle of the road. Town Square is getting the C tier, which is thank you for releasing me. Our last level in Artisans, which is the boss level, is Toasty. Toasty was kind of a nightmare whenever I played it. I don't like the sheepdogs because they attack you twice. They're the only enemies in this game. I'm pretty sure attack you twice, and that's stupid. Not to mention they're little like sheep herders. No thanks. There's a hidden area, which is like, it's fine. It's just, it's hard to find it for some reason. I don't know why I struggled so much to find it. And I do think it's a good concept of a boss, like a sheep in like Scarecrow's clothing instead of a wolf's clothing. I thought that was fun. It just wasn't, I don't know, I just didn't like it. Honestly, the music and the vibes and the skybox of this level are kind of freaky. Like, it's unsettling is what I put. I put unsettling score. So Toasty is gonna get a D tier, a small fee from me. Moving on to our second homeworld of the game, Peacekeeper's Homeworld. And don't read that says Peacemakers right here. I didn't make this tier list. I got this tier list from this person right here. So anyways, I didn't do that. But it is Peacekeepers. Peacekeepers is a desert wasteland. But I like the mooning Norks. I think that's fun whenever they turn around and they show you their butt. You know how I feel about egg thieves. I hate egg thieves. And there's one in here, so that's great. There is a hidden room with a chest in it if you glide across the purple goose. That's pretty cool. It's just a regular daytime skybox, so nothing like really in particularly cool. It's fine. I do like using the cannons. I think that's fun because you have to like move it everywhere and figure out where it needs to go, and then whenever you move down the rocks, then you can find the night flight. But considering everything about it, it's a C, middle tier. Thank you for releasing me for Peacekeepers. The first level that we're going to be discussing in the Peacekeepers Homeworld is Ice Cavern. Wow, Ice Cavern. It's got this beautiful starry skybox. I mean, it's like a frozen fortress, and I like the foggy atmosphere. I think it's so cool. It's just pretty. It looks like gorgeous. There are 3 hidden lives in this level, which is definitely positive. There's a locked chest, which, you know, I kind of don't mind actually circling back to get those. I think they're pretty rewarding. You do have to headbutt gems off of the poles, and I kind of like that. I think that's really fun. But, you know, sometimes you fall off depending on how careful you are or not, especially whenever you're headbutting the Norks into the pit. But that's okay. I do like all of the mini platforming to the semi-secret area. I think that's pretty cool when you jump across the little like stone things that you think are supposed to be there to keep you on the platform or whatever. But I'm going to give Ice Cavern a A tier 100% completion because it's a pretty good level and I like it. Okay, Cliff Town. It's another evening skybox, and there's a very long glide, and I really like that because I think it's cool, and that's the highest point in all of Cliff Town. There are some hidden gems in the soup pots, and I think that's pretty cool because if you wouldn't have known that, like back in '98, because you would have had to buy a physical manual to tell you that that's where it was, you would have been like, where are these gems that I'm missing? So it's kind of something that you have to figure out, which is cool, but I feel like it can also be annoying because of that too. Also, there's those dumb birds. I hate those dumb birds. Like, leave me alone, please. Come on. And the big mamas. I love the big mamas. I don't know what it is about them, but I think they're fun. So they're going to get a I'm Fired Up Bob B tier from me. Next on our list is Dry Canyon. I mean, it's fine. I mean, there's a hidden dragon that you gotta figure out how to maneuver to get there to glide to. There's an island platform, and I do like gliding, but there's a rotten little egg thief and those dumb birds again. And I don't like egg thieves, and I don't like those birds. Like I said, there's lots of gliding, but there's also just that regular skybox, so like it's fine. So Dry Canyon is also going to get a B tier I'm Fired Up Bob. Our boss for the Peacekeepers world is Dr. Shemp, and Dr. Shemp has probably the coolest skybox with that solar eclipse. It's absolutely stunning. I love it. Also, I like his luscious cheeks. That's a weird sentence to say. I mean, that's fine. It's a little unsettling. Not like this Toasty score. It's a little strange. And I'm just like, why are they just so formed? Like, what was the point in that? But they got the big mamas, and the enemies run off the cliff, which I think is pretty funny, so I like that. And there's a little hidden island thing to glide to, and I like that too. So Dr. Shemp is going to get a 100% completion A tier from me. Our third homeworld is the Magic Crafters homeworld. And in this homeworld, I really like the elemental magic vibes, like the music. I like charging those wizards that are in the diagonal. You know, there are 2 rotten little egg thieves in this though, and I don't like that. And also that supercharge ramp. I don't really know how I feel about supercharge ramps. On one side, I'm like, that's pretty cool because it gives you a different level of gameplay and it gives you a challenge. But then on the other hand, I'm like, but it gives you a different level of challenge and it's not always easy to control Spyro and it's whatever. But I do like that locked chest that you can do one of 2 ways. You can get the key or you can use a supercharge ramp, which I think is pretty cool. There's also that little hidden area where the key is that you need to get to. And I mean, it's just a regular daytime skybox, so it's not like special, but Magic Crafters is pretty cool. But it's gonna get a B tier. I'm fired up, Bob, from me. Alpine Ridge has that little hazy afternoon sky to it. Those big tusked beasts are a little scary at times, sometimes, but I mean, they're fine, I guess. There's also a rotten little egg thief here, and that's not my favorite. The wizards hit you with their staff, which is fine until they smack you off the cliff, and I don't really like that. I do like waiting for the magic to stop though. I think that's pretty fun. There's also different paths that you can take, and you know, there's those little firework platforms, which, you know, normally I like the fireworks, unless you're on this platform and it's really hard for you to move the camera around fast enough, so then you can move to a different thing, and then you get exploded off of the whole thing. And there's not fairies in this level to save you, so Alpine Ridge is going to get a thank you for releasing me C tier from me. High Caves has the fairies that save you from falling, which is wonderful, and I love that. Thank you so much. This is also the first instance of the Fairy's Kiss, and I love how Spyro looks with the Fairy's Kiss. There is the supercharge ramp, which is pretty fun to be able to get to the different places, and you don't have to worry really about falling to your death because of the fairies, so that's good. But, you know, with the supercharge ramps, it's not always easy to control Spyro, and you can, if you're not like a pro gamer like me, sometimes it can take forever to be able to get to that other side where that rotten little egg thief is, which is what I don't like about this level, is the rotten little egg thief. But it's got tons of glide time if you can get over there. Those middle spiders are kind of freaky though, like they can be scary. Like in the original they don't look bad, but in the Reignited Trilogy they're like, whoa bud, hold on, wow. But if you have the Fairy's Kiss, then it's okay. And it's also just a regular daytime skybox, so nothing too special. But High Caves is going to get a C, thank you for releasing me, from me. Wizard Peak has the supercharge chains, which allow you to get to that little island thing that has a rotten little egg thief behind it. But it's pretty easy to get this rotten little egg thief. The vibes in Wizard Peak are immaculate. Absolutely love it. Especially that hidden outside portion that you can go around the backside and then get all of those other wizards. Also, when you kill those wizards, their little hats float down and it like softly lands. And I think that's a really cool detail and I like it. And I like the amount of gliding in this one. So Wizard Peak is going to get a B. I'm fired up, Bob, tier from me. This brings us to our boss of this homeworld, which is Blowhard. Blowhard is really easy, but super, super pretty. I like the windmill aesthetics, and I like the vibes of the purpley pink sky. I also really like the moving platforms. I think that's fun, and it's a pretty easy skill point to get to, if you know that that's what you're getting. So Blowhard is gonna get a 100% completion, A tier from me. Our fourth homeworld is the Beastmaker's homeworld. It's a swamp. I don't really care for swamps, no offense to anybody who likes swamps, but I'm not a swamp person. I don't think I would be. I do like the hidden dragon and portal for the wild flight though. I think that's pretty fun. And there's pretty good platforming here, I will admit. The Poombas though, they can go. They can go. I think it's interesting to mix the swamp elements and the like electrical part, but you know, it's kind of fun that they just sit there and jam out and they just like hit their sticks every so often. There is a little hidden key thing that you can get for the chest, so I think that that's pretty cool. I mean, it's just fine. The musical Norks are really cool though. It's not my favorite like music track though, and that's fine. Also, the nighttime skybox is a little boring, which I know differs from the original because I'm pretty sure the original was green and this one is not like, it's not really anything, it's just nighttime. But because of the hidden dragon portal and the platforming and then like the chest and the musical Norks, Beastmakers gets a C tier. Thank you for releasing me from me. Terrace Village has the draw me like one of your French dragons, and I love that about him. There's also those little musical Norks again. They make him another appearance. I really like the chickens. I think the chickens are funny. I also like all of the platforming that you can do here and the fireworks that you can light with the rockets. I think that's really cool. The only problem is it's almost boring, and the smoky green skybox is not really my favorite just because I'm not really a smoky green fan, but you know, Terrace Village is pretty good, so it gets a B tier. I'm fired up above from me. Misty Bog has those awful tree stumps at the end of the level, and I don't know what it is about them, but I hate them. I also hate that little room with the frogs. No thank you. Like, come on. There's that really buff dragon, which I'm not really sure if I like him. I'm pretty sure his name's Bubba? I don't know. Everybody loves him. I don't know how I feel about him. He kind of makes me uncomfy a little bit, but I like the end of the level when you can ram into all of those little Nork things. I think that that's cool after you get past those dreaded tree stumps. And it's just a regular daytime skybox. But also, how could I forget about those things that eat you, that chomp you and like spit you out? I hate those. Those are freaky. So because of that, Misty Bog is going to get a thank you for releasing me C tier. Treetops. Oh, how much I have to say about treetops. But I'll just sum it up. I hate treetops so much. It's awful. Like, you have the monkeys, you have the excessive amount of supercharged ramps, and I really don't like them in this level because Spyro is hard to control, and then the chains that you have to do are so just wackadoo, and they don't even tell you how to do that. And I'm just like, no, I need guidance sometime, okay? Sometimes I'm stupid. It's also another boring nighttime skybox, and I'm so tired of having to go back and forth just to get everything. This one, I really like when things are linear, and this is not linear, and it bugs me, and I hate it so much, but everybody just loves this one because it's like, it's so underappreciated. I'm sorry, I hate it, okay? There's too many paths to take, and it's just, I hate it. So Treetops is our first F tier, you're nasty, okay? Which brings us to the boss of the Beastmaker's homeworld, which is Metalhead. I actually really like Metalhead. It's a pretty fun, and I put in quotations, challenge, because I like that you have to knock down all the poles, or actually he could destroy them himself, either with his little like laser thing, or with the monkeys. I think that that's pretty cool. There's two hidden areas here. There's one behind the waterfall, and there's one way down on the side, like kind of whenever you start the level. I think that that's pretty cool. The music and vibes in this, I actually really like. It is my favorite Beastmaker's level, and is my favorite track. That being said, there's also those stupid monkeys again, and it's kind of a boring nighttime skybox. So unfortunately, Metalhead is gonna have to stay at just an A tier 100% completion. Dreamweavers. Oh, my favorite homeworld of the Spyro the Dragon game. So spoilers on where it's probably gonna go. But Dreamweavers is my favorite. It's got that purple pink lavender haze sky with the clouds. There's lots of gliding. There's that hidden room thing for that skill point that wasn't in the original game, and I think that's so fun. There's those little clock elf puzzles where you have to like chase them and knock them out so then you can get on the platforms. There's just these ethereal vibes to this, and then the music, and it's just so pretty. So Dreamweavers is obviously going to be Year of the Dragon S tier. There's a theme with the Dreamweavers worlds because these are some of my favorite levels, and the next one we're going to talk about is Dark Passage. There's that little hidden area, which was hard for me to find on my playthrough that I did on my channel, which in hindsight it shouldn't have been, but that's okay. There are those little demon dogs though, and they freak me out. Like, why? Why did you have to make them that scary? There's another little purple aura sky, and it's like floating rocks, and it makes you feel like you're in space. I think that's so cool. And the inside is just like mystical caverns, and there's like pink, what seems to be petals on the ground just leading you where to go, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And there's that unlockable chest by a firework at the end of the level, and I just love it. But because there are those little demon dogs, I unfortunately only get to put Dark Passage at 100% completion, A tier. Lofty Castle. Oh, how I love this level. I think I used to not like it, but the longer that I thought about it and the more I like revisited this game to make this like video and like my rankings and stuff and write notes, the more I actually really like it. I mean, the music and vibes are just so pretty. I love all like the different fairies. I like the skybox. It's a fantastical feeling and fun to explore, and then there's tons of time to glide. There is that supercharged ramp though, which not really a big fan of, but once you figure out, I guess, where like how to use it, I guess it's not super bad, but honestly, I can forgive it for this level. So Lofty Castle also gets another A tier 100% completion. Haunted Towers. Oh, I love this one too. I love the fairy's kiss in this one, like how Spyro looks, and then that design is just so good. Think of it more with this level than I do the other level, just because I think it makes more sense in this level, and it's more prominent in this level. I do like the evening setting sun type skybox. I think it's absolutely pretty. The wizard hat skill point is so cool and so fun, and it's just a really nice addition to it. You know, the little armor staircase is not my favorite, but once you figure out how to do it, then I guess it's not super bad. I don't know. I've played this game how many times and I still haven't been able to pass it on the first try? I don't know. I just need to get better. Whatever. There is that supercharge ramp, but it leads you to that little hidden area, and I like hidden areas. So that is okay with me. So Haunted Towers gets a 100% completion, A tier from me. Are you noticing a theme with the Dreamweaver's worlds? Good, because now we're going to be talking about the boss of the homeworld, which is Jacques. Honestly, this level is creepy. I mean, it's the evening skybox, which is so pretty, but honestly, it looks like a portal to hell. Like the whole level does. But there are fantastic gliding opportunities whenever with like the pedestals, and then you can like flame all of those little flower mama long nail monster things. I think that's really cool. Other than that, the enemies look like nightmares. Nightmare fuel. Like, no, they're awful. But honestly, I love this level. There's just something about it that I'm like, oh my god, it's amazing and I love it. It is the best boss in the game, despite being the easiest. You know, a lot of people think, oh, Jacques' not fun because it's easy. This is the best boss in the game, despite its easiness. And it's also really funny because he's a Jack in the Box and his name is Jacques. Like, he's a Jacques in the Box. Come on, that's hilarious. So Jacques is also getting an A tier 100% completion from me. We are at our last homeworld of the game, which is the Nork Nexus. Nork Nexus is boring. You save the same dragons that you've already saved. I mean, the skybox is pretty. I think it's really nice. I like the lavenderness, but it's not enough to save it from the fact that it's in the middle of nowhere. It's just a metal hunk in the middle of nowhere. And you have to unlock the levels one at a time, which really sucks because I like the illusion of choice. Like, come on. Like, I know that I'm very limited with what levels I can do in the other worlds, but at least I get to choose the order of them. In Nork Nexus, I don't. So because of that, Nork Nexus is getting a D tier, a small fee from me. Twilight Harbor has a pretty evening skybox, and you can kind of see the other oil rigs in the background, and I think that's pretty cool. They do have those purple goo guns the Norks carry, which I understand why they have that instead of having like the machine guns, so I get it. I don't know how I feel about the TNT. On one hand, I think it's pretty cool that you can like headbutt it and then it explodes the Norks, but also it explodes me. So there's also that no rat kill skill point, which is, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's a nice challenge, but I'm also like, come on, this is the end of the game. I kind of need these, okay? Sparks is like green here, and you have to leave from the end portal. So that's, I mean, that also makes it a fun challenge, but I also don't really like that either. But because of the evening skybox and the fact that you can see the other rigs, and because I feel bad because I didn't want to rank all of these levels so low, and I kind of like the theme for this one. It's really not bad. Twilight Harbor is going to get a B tier, I'm fired up bomb for me. Nork Cove has the supercharged puzzle ramp, which can be cool unless you're trying to go over it to smash the chest. In that case, I've died so many times doing that. But there is that little extra life if you go inside the room and kill those Norks and then hop out on the outside. Like I said, there's that chest, which I think is pretty cool. I like it. There's that trophy that you can get, and it is finding all of the gears, which was really fun to do. And I feel bad that I had already completed all of the trophies for these games before I played it on my channel, but that's a pretty good trophy if you haven't done it already. Again, they have those purple goo guns, which I don't really like because they shoot them at me and then they hit me and then I lose life points from sparks, but I'm just bad at this game. And again, you have to leave from the end portals. And despite the extra life and the chest, I don't like Nork Cove as much as I like Twilight Harbor. So this is going to get a C tier, middle of the road. Thank you for releasing me for me. Nasty Nork, the penultimate boss of the game, and you know, there's two rotten little egg thieves. They're not egg thieves, they're key thieves at the beginning, but you have to chase them just to be able to even confront Nasty. Like all the other ones, at least they were like, had the gall enough to be like, hey, here I am, I'm waiting for you, come get me. And Nasty Nork's like, haha, you can't get up here because you're a short little dragon. And I'm like, yeah, watch me, I'll get up there and I'll flame you. The music though, wow, it definitely feels like a boss track. Like, it's good. It's also really funny to chase him around and around and around, especially for the trophy, because he runs so awkwardly, and I think it's because of how he's like made, like he's like really tiny on the bottom and like really hulky on the top. I do enjoy the retractable platform gliding. I know that some people may not like it, especially if you're trying to do a no glide run, but because I don't do that, I do like the gliding. He's relatively easy to defeat, so that's like not a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a thing. He's relatively easy to defeat, which, I mean, I said Jacques was the best boss in the game, and he's easy to defeat too, so who knows. And the environment is fine. I mean, it matches the rest of the Nork Nexus, but I'm not really an industrial kind of person. So Nasty Nork is also getting a C tier. Thank you for releasing me for me. That brings us to the last level of the game, which is the bonus level, and it is Nasty's Loot. Nasty's Loot gives you an indefinite amount of flying. However, you are stuck at the certain levels until you unlock the higher flying. And you can unlock those from the little rotten thieves, which in this one, you know what? It's actually not too bad because it unlocks you higher flying levels. And going into Nasty's room with all those exploding bottles is satisfying. So I just love that secret stash and the motivational posters on the wall. I just think are funny. It's a really nice touch in this game. So Nasty's Loot is going to get an A tier, 100% completion for me, despite the fact that this gives you 120% in this game. So there you have it. There is my tier list. In the S tier, we have the Dreamweaver's Homeworld. In the A tier, we have the Artisan's Homeworld, Dark Hollow, Ice Cavern, Dr. Shemp, Blowhard, Metalhead, Dark Passage, Lofty Castle, Haunted Towers, Jacques, and Nasty's Loot. In the B tier, we have Stone Hill, Clifftown, Dry Canyon, Magic Crafters, Wizard Peak, Terrace Village, and Twilight Harbor. In the C tier, we have Town Square, the Peacekeeper's Homeworld, Alpine Ridge, High Caves, the Beastmaker's Homeworld, Misty Bog, Nork Cove, and Nasty Nork. In the D tier, we have Toasty and the Nork Nexus. And in the F tier, we have Treetops, which is not a surprise to anybody who watches my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for this tier list. If you disagree or agree with any of my rankings, please let me know in the comment below. Just remember, this is all for fun, and my opinion really doesn't matter, so if you'd like to see me rank the other levels from the other 2 Spyro games, as well as the flight levels and the boss levels, please leave me a like and subscribe down below. And don't forget just to subscribe for any content of mine that you might enjoy. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys!